Many have stated that the Bible is God's infallible word. This is the first of several presentations proving that statement is false in the words of the one who created all things. Let us begin by investigating the facts from the Torah to determine whether Yahuah has ever sent a New Testament Messiah.
The Torah, the foundation of Yahuah's word, stands as a testament to his divine revelation. Its origins are steeped in antiquity, its words echoing the voice of Elohim. The 5 books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy tell the story of creation, the covenant between Yahuah and Abraham, and the Israelites' journey to the Promised Land. This sacred text emerged in a world vastly different from our own. Ancient Israel clung to the idea of a single divine God, Yahuah, in the face of strong empires and polytheistic beliefs. The Torah emerged from this milieu as a beacon of monotheism. Its laws and narratives provided a blueprint for a society grounded in faith and obedience to Yahuah. The text's impact resonated far beyond the borders of Israel. Understanding the origins of the Torah is essential for comprehending the historical and religious landscape of the ancient world. Its impact continues to shape the beliefs and practices of billions of people today. The Torah's authorship is traditionally attributed to Moses, acting under divine inspiration. This belief is deeply ingrained, and the Torah itself contains textual evidence in support of it. Passages such as Deuteronomy 31:24 state, "And when Moses had finished writing the words of this law in a book to the very end, clearly indicate Mosaic authorship." Any debate over authorship, while important, does not diminish the Torah's significance. Whether penned by Moses or assembled by later redactors, the Torah remains a cornerstone of faith for millions. While the Torah's authorship is anchored in tradition, the New Testament presents a different case. The New Testament, the foundational text of Christianity, consists of 27 books, including Gospels, epistles, and the Book of Revelation. Unlike the Torah, the authorship of the New Testament is shrouded in uncertainty. While tradition ascribes authorship to apostles and their close associates, scholarly analysis reveals a more complex picture. The Gospels, for instance, are attributed to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. However, none of these texts claim direct authorship by these figures. Many scholars believe Flavius Josephus to be a major author. The Gospels are anonymous, with attributions appearing later in the 2nd century. Further complicating matters is the lack of original manuscripts for any New Testament book. The earliest surviving manuscripts date to the 3rd and 4th centuries, leaving ample room for textual variations and scribal alterations. This lack of definitive authorship raises questions about the New Testament's historical reliability. If the authors are unknown, how can we be certain of their proximity to the events they describe? If the earliest manuscripts are centuries removed from the originals, how can we be sure of the text's accuracy? These questions challenge the traditional view of the New Testament as an inerrant, divinely inspired text. Instead, they suggest a human process of composition, redaction, and transmission, leaving the text susceptible to error and alteration. The timelines of the Torah and New Testament also differ significantly. The Torah's composition is generally dated to the 1st millennium BCE, with most scholars placing it between the 10th and 6th centuries BCE. This dating aligns with the historical context of ancient Israel, its laws reflecting the societal norms and challenges of the time. The New Testament, on the other hand, was written centuries later, primarily in the latter half of the 1st century CE. This temporal gap is significant. The New Testament emerged in a world vastly different from the one that produced the Torah. The Roman Empire dominated the Mediterranean, and early Christianity was a fledgling movement struggling for survival. This historical context inevitably shaped the content and message of the New Testament. Its focus on Jesus as the Messiah and the spread of the Christian faith reflects the concerns and aspirations of this nascent religious community. Furthermore, the New Testament's reliance on the Torah further complicates its timeline. The Gospels and epistles frequently quote or allude to passages from the Hebrew Bible, demonstrating their dependence on the older text. This intertextuality raises questions about the New Testament's originality and its relationship to its predecessor. While Christian tradition views the New Testament as a fulfillment of the Torah's prophecies, critics argue that it represents a departure from the original message. The Torah unequivocally proclaims Yahuah as the sole source of salvation. Isaiah 43:3, "For I am Yahuah, your Elohim, the set-apart one of Israel, your Savior." Isaiah 43:11, "I am Yahuah, and besides me there is no Savior." Isaiah 43:25, "I am He, Yahuah, alone, who blots out your transgressions for my own sake, and I remember your sins no more." Isaiah 44:6, "Thus said Yahuah, sovereign of Yisrael and his Redeemer, Yiv of hosts, I am the first and I am the last. Besides me there is no Elohim." This declaration of monotheism distinguishes the Torah from the polytheistic beliefs prevalent in the ancient world. It establishes Yahuah as the sole deity worthy of worship, obedience, and our only source of salvation, Leviticus 17. 10 further emphasizes Yahuah's exclusivity, stating, "And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people." This verse highlights the importance of adhering to Yahuah's laws, including dietary restrictions, as a sign of loyalty and devotion. Throughout the Torah, Yahuah's power and authority are repeatedly emphasized. He is the creator, the lawgiver, and the ultimate judge. Obedience to his commandments is presented as the path to righteousness and salvation. This emphasis on Yahuah's singular role as our salvation stands in contrast to the New Testament's presentation of Jesus as a mediator and savior. The origins of the Torah and New Testament reveal distinct differences in authorship, timeline, and message. The Torah, rooted in ancient Israelite tradition, presents a clear and consistent message of Yahuah's sole divinity and the importance of adhering to his laws. Its authorship, while debated, is firmly anchored in the figure of Moses. The New Testament, written centuries later, presents a more complex picture. Its authorship is uncertain, its timelines are convoluted, and its message diverges from the Torah's emphasis on Yahuah as our salvation exclusivity. These differences raise important questions about the New Testament's historical reliability and its relationship to the Torah. While Christian tradition views the New Testament as a continuation and fulfillment of the Torah, critical analysis suggests a more nuanced perspective. The New Testament's reliance on the Torah, its uncertain authorship, and its historical context all point to a human process of composition and interpretation by Roman authors. This human element does challenge claims of its divine inspiration and inerrancy. Imagine a comparative timeline of the Torah and New Testament, highlighting key events and figures in both traditions. This could include the Exodus, the Babylonian exile, the destruction of the Second Temple, and the rise of early Christianity. Now, picture a map depicting the geographical setting of both texts, showing the locations of ancient Israel, the Roman Empire, and key cities mentioned in both the Torah and New Testament, such as Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and Rome. Lastly, envision a diagram illustrating the structure of the Torah and the New Testament, highlighting the different genres of writing within each text, such as law, history, prophecy, gospel, epistle, and apocalypse.
For more verses proving Yahuah alone is our salvation, be sure to visit our website at torahrestored.com. Also, videos at youtube.com/@torahrestored and Bite to Phila Productions.